The first thing you want to do is open up your Microsoft Word document. Once you have it open, you are going to want to find your page setup, which is where your margin options appear. Your page setup is in the File menu. Your File menu is located on the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Take your mouse pointer, place it on the File menu, and click to open it. Once you've opened your File menu, you're going to look for and find the Page Setup option. Put your mouse pointer on Page Setup, click one time, and a Page Setup window should open on your screen. Once you have your Page Setup box open, you're going to look at the very top. Click on the Margins tab at the top of the Page Setup box. The first section of the page is titled Margins. You're going to see that each margin has its own input box indicating how far each margin extends from the edge of the paper. Right now, inside of each box is the default setting for that margin. For example, your top and bottom margins are both 1 inches. Your left and right margins are both set at 1.25 inches. To change the number in a margin box, you have two options. The first option is if you look at the right-hand edge of each box, you're going to see two arrows. One points up, the other points down. Clicking on the up arrow will increase that margin by 0.1 inches each time. If you want to click the down arrow, that'll decrease your margin by 0.1 inch. If you can't find a margin that you like, you can also actually change the margin itself by clicking on the inside of the input box. You'll see that your blinking cursor will appear. We're going to need to erase the number that is in that box and then type in the new margin amount that you want your margin to be. You will see that you have two other options. One of them says gutter, the other one says gutter position. What is a gutter margin? A gutter is actually intended if you are binding, stapling, or putting holes in your document. The gutter margin is going to leave a little bit of extra space on the side where the holes, the staple, or the glue is going to go. This way, any text that you have will not be obscured or damaged by the binding that you use. The gutter position is, well, the most common gutter position is left. And what that means is that if you have a left gutter position, the odd number pages will have their gutters on the left edge of the page, and the even numbered pages will have their gutter margins on the right edge of the page. And this is very helpful for not damaging the text that you can see on your screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually go through a live example of this on screen. Thank you. The first thing that we want to do when changing margins on our Microsoft Word document is to find the Page Setup box. The Page Setup box is in the File menu in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. So take your mouse pointer and place it on the File menu. Once you're there, click one time with your left mouse button and a menu will appear. As you look through the menu, find your Page Setup option. Place your mouse pointer on Page Setup and click one time. When you do that, a Page Setup box is going to appear on screen. Look at the top of the box. You're going to see three different tabs located at the top of the box. One says Margins, one says Paper, one says Layout. You want to click on the Margins option to make sure that your Margins page is the one that's on top. At the very top of your Margins page, you're going to see a section titled Margins. And in that is the actual size of each of your margins. You'll see that your top margin is 1 inch, your bottom margin is 1 inch, your left margin is set at 1.25 inches, and your right margin is set at 1.25 inches. In order to change these margins, you have two different options. The first thing that you can do is increase or decrease the margins by using the little up and down arrows located to the side of your input box. If you want to increase your margins, you would just click on the up arrow, and each time you click, your margins are going to increase by 1/10 of an inch. To decrease your margins, you would use the down arrow. Each time you click on the down arrow, you're going to see that your margins decrease by 1/10 of an inch. You could do the same thing for your left and your right margins. You can increase and decrease the margin size by clicking on the arrow located at the edge of the box. If you don't see the size that you want to have, you can also change the margin that's in there by actually clicking in the input box itself. Place your mouse pointer on the input box, click one time, and your blinking cursor is going to appear on screen. Use either your delete or your backspace key to erase the number that's currently in there, and then type in the size of the margin that you would want. I am typing in 1.25 because I would like my top margin to be 1.25 inches from the top of the screen. This will actually go through and change your top margin. You will notice that there are two other options that appear in the margins area. They are gutter and gutter position. With gutter, what this actually does is if you're going to have a bound document, the gutter position will leave space so that you can either put the glue in or you can put holes in or staples so that the words don't get cut off on the edge of the paper. The gutter you'll see the option gutter position to the right of that. Gutter position right now is left, and what that means is that if you have a left side gutter position, every odd numbered document 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, the extra space is going to be on the left hand side of the document, and on all the even number documents 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, their larger margin is going to be on the right side. Once you're done changing your margins, you're going to put your mouse pointer on the OK button, click one time, and your margin will have changed. If to see that, look at the top of your screen, and you're going at the top of your window. You're going to see a ruler. In the ruler, there are two colors. There is a blue section, a white section, and then another blue section. The blue sections are your margins. And right now, our margins are set at 1.25. So what you're going to see is that you have 1.25. You have a 1.25 inch left margin. You can type in the area that's white, and then you're going to have a 1.25 inch left margin. The same thing is true for your top and your top margin. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're also going to see a ruler. And this is going to show you that you have a 1.25 inch top margin. You have a longer area that you can type in, which is approximately 8.5 inches or 8.5 inches in length. And then you're going to have a 1 inch bottom margin, as you can see by the grayed out area at the bottom of the page.